You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Teen Mom OG After Show. I have a full panel tonight. So I'm your host, Mackenzie Fain, and to my right, I have the lovely...
I'm Karina.
And then over here, we have...
I'm Ann.
And Mama Fain.
Mama Fain.
Nobody. I don't even know. Did anybody answer? I haven't looked at the comments.
Don't tell them that.
Well, I have to look at them, but I haven't looked at them to see what they've said about your name yet. I don't even know.
I haven't either.
But okay, this was a crazy episode, guys. It really was. Let's just do initial thoughts. What were your initial overall thoughts in like a sentence?
Ooh, I liked it. It was good. A little boring sometimes, but like I guess that's just life. But yeah, I liked it. There were some cute moments.
Okay. What about you, Ann?
I thought that all the moms had a sad episode.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Yeah.
Every single one had sadness.
It was. What about you, Mom?
I agree. Yeah, they all had something they had to deal with that was sad.
Well, it was really sad, guys. I thought so too. I really did. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought. And I thought there was a lot of hidden, like, stuff that I feel like I had to pick out of tonight. But as we go over each girl's part, we'll pick and choose what we want to talk about. But anyway, we start off with Macy tonight. And she decides, we talked about the whole private school thing last week with Bentley. Why they're talking about it still 2 years in advance, I have no clue. Does anybody know that?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't understand it. He's just going into 4th grade.
I don't get it.
Let's stay in the moment.
But yeah, so Macy just says, I'm not ready to make that decision yet, so whatever. Which was interesting when Taylor and Macy have this conversation with Bentley, and they say, you know, don't break your streak of not having any C's, and, you know, don't break your streak, and Taylor's like, yeah, you won't be having any sports, any, you know, video games, anything. He's like, well, what will I be doing?
Right.
And they're both like studying, which is so
I loved
great.
it.
And
I loved it.
It's so perfect because that's exactly what a regular, you know, not being on TV kid would say. So it was really nice.
I also really liked Taylor's relationship with Bentley. I thought that was so cute because he's obviously sticking to what the mom says as well, but it shows how much he cares about him, which is something I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
I thought it showed how mature Macy's gotten.
Yeah.
And their parenting is spot on. I always agree with Macy and Taylor.
Me too. She's the one, I mean, I'll have to think of the other ones, but she's one that I consistently...
The most steady, I feel like.
And she wants to make it a normal life because they're not normal people anymore. This is 10 years in the making. They're just not normal anymore. And especially Bentley, we've obviously talked about. Some of the other people and like kids, I think, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I just think they're a little unforgettable. Bentley has been like, honestly, the star kid of the entire series. You could even take that into Teen Mom too, I would say. Like, he's been such a big star.
He's so cute, too.
He's
so cute and just nice, and he's just such a nice kid. I don't know, I just like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's really great. But, you know, then we take Bentley to 4th grade, and he doesn't want his mom. So take him in. He's like, no, absolutely not. Like,
Right.
Which is sad. She teared up. What'd you guys think of that moment?
I thought I feel bad for her, you know, to know that that's it. Because she was like, he's going to want me to walk him into college.
Yeah.
The first day of college. So that was something for her. I felt bad.
She was heartbroken.
Yeah.
She really was. And, you know, I was thinking, Taylor wants a whole slew of kids. She's just done. She has the PCOS, and I just think it's hard for her to do that. But she also has Jade and Maverick, who are literally the same age.
Right.
So they're going to be, she's going to have to do it twice in like one time. I don't know.
Right, but then it's going to be over at one
That's
time.
what I'm saying.
too.
I feel bad. I feel
know.
like I feel like she's the kind of person that it should have been more spread out.
Yeah.
What do you
But
do?
they did talk about adopting.
Yeah.
So that could be something that comes up.
But did they say they wanted an infant? I don't think they did.
No, they wanted older. They're
Yeah.
right.
I
like
think they
that.
wanted older.
I like that they wanted older.
I do think
like
it's nice. But then there's so many issues, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, one of the biggest parts of this whole episode to me was the conversation Larry, Jen, and Mackenzie had. about Ryan. So Mackenzie walks over. They have this conversation about how he checked himself into rehab, into this 90-day intensive rehab. And they're all just like, he wants to do better. That's why he's doing it. And Jen at one point was like, what better time to do it than now? I'm like, how about before it started, first of all, or before he got in a car driving to his wedding day and almost drove off the road.
Or when she got pregnant. Like, start it then, not when she's 9 months
it just
pregnant.
is so crazy. They
not
keep
9 months, but
making excuses for him. They made that whole conversation sound like everything was okay. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Everything's fine.
He should have done it a while ago.
Oh, there's something we don't know.
What do you mean?
That he's in rehab for a reason that we don't know.
like more, you mean?
Yeah, you mean more than just like alcohol?
No. Oh yeah, more than alcohol.
Oh yeah, he's not an alcohol. He's not.
What is it? Is
he's
it
like a heroin.
It's heroin.
Yeah.
I think.
Oops.
I think Mackenzie said, "Go,
Yeah.
get out and go." I think they're sugarcoating the
Maybe
whole
an
thing.
ultimatum or
They
something.
always do, and that's so true. They always do, and I bet you they are. That's so true.
She should have said get out and go a while ago, though. Just
The
saying.
night of the wedding.
Like, yeah, or
Her
before
first,
that.
her first wedding.
Why would you go through with the wedding? I don't know. If we were doing this show when that was happening,
Yeah, that
I would be yelling into this mic the whole entire time.
Yeah.
More than I already do. With my
Yeah,
big
I
fat
just
loud voice.
learned about this, though. I hadn't watched it then. So she showed me a video, and I was like, that was his wedding day? And
They got married twice. That was the first time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was out of his mind.
Both of them?
The first one. The little private one on the side of the lake or river.
Yes, so they pretty much went to a courthouse, but like went to the side of it and just got with like a JP, yeah. And she wore this full glitz gown. It was great. It was cute. Actually.
That's when he was falling asleep driving there.
Yeah.
he was.
Was he
knocking out.
sober the next time?
Probably not.
I don't
Hard to
think
tell.
did. We see the second wedding?
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because they argued the whole time.
and Macy went. yes, they did about money.
Yes.
Yes, I do remember that. That's crazy.
All I'm going to say is I hope he gets better and that the 90 days works. Maybe he might need a little bit more than 90 days.
This isn't his first time, though, right?
No, this
Probably
isn't
not,
his first
yeah.
time. And Jen says, it's better he does it now before it gets bad. And it's just like, what are
already
you guys
bad.
talking about? Why? What? I just have no words for it.
It's like before he dies is really should have
What you're
been
saying.
more
Like the
than-
last ditch
yeah.
effort before he died.
not
Let's try and get him
somebody
better.
else.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, so Jen asks Mackenzie, how do you feel about, she's like 9 months pregnant or something, like couple months shy of giving birth at this point.
Yeah.
Or weeks or something. She's very pregnant. But she says, how do you feel about Ryan not being here for the birth? So that's when we know he's not going to be there for the birth. And she's just like, if I didn't love Ryan, I would call him such a selfish guy.
Oh, I was thinking,
if you didn't. Is that your way of telling us exactly how you feel?
That's what I was thinking.
Because it is so selfish. Like, I have to do this all alone, regardless of, like, yeah, you're doing the right thing in this time, but they have been married. He already has a child that he hasn't been there for, and she has, like, a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just insane.
When she said that, but if this works, and if he's in this child's life for the rest of its life being a good parent, then it'll be worth missing the birth. And I was like, okay, then.
Yeah.
I agree. If it does work and he's going to be better, then that's fine. Take that,
Yeah, I mean,
But
sure. It's sad. I think, I don't know if I put myself in her shoes how I would be. I think she's just being way too supportive.
yes, because she's not going to say it in front of cameras. I'm sure there was a lot of arguing and
That we
crying
don't know about,
nights
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, it's...
I just can't imagine like what she's going through. Like I can imagine ever being in that position. And I feel just terrible for her that she has to go through this and that she has given him a lot of chances. Which I mean, I don't know. I think they should have handled it sooner. So
I feel like
we'll
when
see.
she first got pregnant, he should
But
have
he should
gone away.
They were trying to get pregnant. Like, since the, right?
How do you try and get pregnant when all this is going? That's the last thing that should be on your mind right now. Rehab a bunch of times should be on your mind before you decide to bring in a child. That's not okay.
Well, they need to get it sorted out. That's just crazy. But we did find out that he's back in rehab, so that's good. Hopefully we'll see what happens next week. But on to Caitlyn's story. She had a lot. I think I wrote the most about her part tonight. So it was Carly, her adopted daughter's 9th birthday. Super emotional. We start out by saying that we're gonna gonna celebrate the day, get a cake like they always do. The adoption counselor Dawn calls and says happy birthday, and she just says, reflect back on this monumental decision that you guys made. You guys are remarkable in a class of your own. Not many people can do that. And it's so nice to see the support that they have. Oh, yeah. And that is out there for people that do put their children up for adoption. Like, you're not alone. You're going to have somebody there every step of the way, which is so great.
And it's not a negative thing. You know, like they're talking about the positive of it and how it was something they needed to do. So that's really nice to watch, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what were you going to say?
I just always loved how they handled, like, her adoption and how they continue to, you know, and telling Nova about her and everything like that. I just loved how they handled it because it's such a hard thing. But I also always feel just sadness with them because I feel like a part of them has never gotten over it. Oh, yeah. And, like, how can you? Like, I completely understand. And I don't know, it's just sad to see them and, like, the life they have now. I'm sure they wish they could have Carly. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's, like, one of their biggest regrets, but also not, because she got a great life and they weren't ready for her at that time.
Well, one thing, so Caitlyn texts Brennan and Teresa. They're supposed to have a yearly visit. And now this was just crazy to me, but what about you guys? I've never really liked Brennan and Teresa. I just never really have. What about you, Ann? Have you?
I don't think they showed Teresa very well. Like, I'm sure there's some nice moments, but I think they put her in a really negative spotlight. And you're thinking, she's just trying to protect her daughter. She's the one baby that we don't see that could go out in public and not be recognized now, and is living a life away from TV. So I think she just really put her foot down and said, this is what I want from my I don't want her to be in front of the cameras.
Well, I don't think the in front of the cameras thing was necessarily what I thought was bad, because that's fine. Although I do think, like, we know what they look like. And they did a whole magazine cover with her and the family, so she was fine going out to the nation with Caitlyn and Tyler.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they took a job a couple of years ago when a bunch of this controversy was going on with Caitlyn and Tyler, when it was, like, super, like, they had just said, we're done putting her on TV. They had done with their new adopted son they have. And so the two adopted kids and them, they were the front page of some magazine, like People or something like that. And it was talking about the stories. And they took that on and showed her face. So I remember Caitlyn and Tyler talking about it. And they were like, it's fine we gave you parental rights. So it's fine if that's the parental right you want to take. But how just ridiculous is it for you to turn around and then just throw her face out to everybody? In a totally, like...
Yeah, so you mean, so why not have her on the show also?
No, I don't care about the show. That's not even really what I care about. It's more of, like, this kind of stuff that we get into tonight with them being just like, this is sketchy to me. We're going to go over it, but...
Okay.
We'll go over it. So, Caitlyn texts and says, you know, we want to do an annual visit. When can we do it? We'll come up on a Friday. Even if you just want to do a dinner, we'll fly out for it. No big deal. No pressure. We can make it simple. Doesn't get a text back. So, do you guys definitely not want to do a dinner even? Like, well, you know, anything you want to do? So, Teresa writes back, of course we don't want to just see you for dinner. You live too far away for that. It's not enough length of time. And not about the length of time we spend with you. Basically, she was like, don't make plans right now, I guess. They're working through some things with Carly. This is what she says. She's at an age at which she's trying to figure out her place in life. That sentence was weird to me because she's 9, and I just don't think, unless there's stuff going on with, like, her adoptive, like, side of her, that why would Caitlyn and Tyler not be a part of?
Yeah, so this is what I think.
Wait, let me just finish
okay,
this
sorry.
little, the
Go
end
ahead.
of this. She's, says she's a 9-year-old girl with a very different story. So she has to build her confidence in who she is. And we want her to be able to do that in the least confusing way possible. She just needs to mature some. So what do you think about that?
So I think that at 9 years old is when you're old enough to start thinking, these are my parents. You know, they have online, they can look, she can see everything about her parents, the new house that they're doing, the horses. And if she's having any kind of a problem with her parents, her adoptive parents, kids, you know, that looks so much better. Let me go there.
Well, what
I
if she
wanna see
doesn't?
it.
What if she doesn't see all that? Because to me, Teresa's a very protective helicopter mom.
Yeah, but she must go to school. How do you? You
Go to
can't.
school and what?
Like, she must go to a school where there's
Where
other
kids
friends,
talk,
where
yeah.
kids talk.
Kids always talk about that type of stuff.
Wow, your parents. So, I mean, they could be built up. Her, you know, Caitlyn
Yeah.
and Tyler could be built up from her other friends. It could be just a curiosity. And now she might be pushing to go see them. I want to go. I want to whatever. So they need to, you know, bring her in again before they start
I agree.
seeing her again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe though.
They have to worry about their life. They can't. I mean, it's their daughter.
I mean, I just think if they're having problems with her and she's going through something and she needs to figure out herself at 9, like, there's a big missing piece of her life that you're just gonna shut out. I just think that's so weird. If she needs to mature, then let her mature in a way that you were adopted. These are your family. We see them once a year. That's what it is. Like, and that's why hide it. Why shove it in the corner?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and they have all these years had the birthday with her, you know, but this year.
No, not the birthday. They've skipped it a couple times.
they skipped
They've said they didn't want to do it. They're really sketchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I agree with Teresa more just because, you know, Carly was adopted and now it's her parents, and it's probably hard for Carly to see Caitlyn and Tyler and to have this thing, like, it's hard to merge two things of her life, and maybe she just needs time to just figure out herself out, like, where do I fit? Do I fit with them or do I fit with my other parents?
And she could be phasing them out.
That's what I think. She's phasing them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which she
Which
has every right to do that. And
does.
it's a stinky part of the situation, but
I mean, I think it's like human nature, I almost want to call it. You hear of stories after 30 years, like, they were lied to, and it's just they always felt like something was wrong. They always felt like they didn't belong or things like that. And then they do something crazy, or they randomly just find out that actually wasn't their parents or their mother or this or that. So I just think it's so ridiculous that they're going about it like this and not.
Yeah, it is, because when she's 18 years old, she's just going to go find them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very hard.
Right. It's not gonna
Especially
be-
if she feels like she's been kept away from them.
Yeah.
She's
going
gonna
to be
rebel.
resentful. Right.
Yeah.
she could not want to see them. Who knows? We don't really know what goes like behind closed doors, but Caitlyn and Tyler are extremely lucky that they even got to see Carly, because most of the time adoptive parents, like birth parents, do not get to see their child ever. The fact that they get pictures, they see her once a year.
But that's why they chose an open adoption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They chose an open adoption.
That was part of the
and-
agreement.
Yeah. It was a year visit. It was pictures. It was that, like, you know, being able to text them. And I just think Teresa and Brandon were just so excited to get a baby. Okay, I'll do whatever you want. Just give me a baby. Now they're just not.
Yeah.
And to see them be so successful and all those different things. But it was really sweet when Dawn comes and kind of remembers about Caitlyn's what the heck is it called? Miscarriage. Sorry, I just totally lost my word.
Right.
Miscarriage, and gave her a bracelet and remembered, you know.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. But anyway, we'll move on to Bristol. So she moves into her new house. She FaceTimes her sister Piper. She has this whole great time, and then we hear about this stalker. Did you guys know about the stalker?
No. And that was insane. I was
was
like, oh my
scary.
God. Oh no.
That's really scary.
That
yeah.
he's been like in and out of jail and he escaped jail and all this
The
stuff. I was just
FBI
like,
and the
Yeah.
Secret Service can't catch him.
I was just
Right.
like, oh my God, this
Oh, I
guy is
didn't
like
think
Houdini. He's like a Houdini stalker. Like he also, I think, I looked online that the Palins have had multiple stalkers, but the one that popped up also threatened President Trump as well.
Oh,
There's
wow.
one of their stalkers that did that, and just as a long battle against the Palins, and
Wow.
Yeah, it was scary. That was.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at all.
I was scared for Bristol because she's on TV saying I live in Texas.
Yeah, like,
I
hey,
thought.
you know,
By
That's what I was saying.
myself.
I'd go hide. Like, I have 3 young kids,
Here
and
I
I'm
am.
divorced. Here I
Right.
am.
I'm living by myself.
I'm by myself in a huge house with lots of doors and windows.
I have no friends. I have no
I'm
family.
I'm so
Like,
isolated.
Come get me.
Like,
Yeah.
if they can get to Dakota, how easy could they get to Bristol?
I know. That's really.
Well, we just see the ridiculous conversations again with Dakota and Bristol. They FaceTime, and she's just saying, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. And he's like, well, it just shows that I was always right, and blah, 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 blah. Like,
He is so angry. He scares me.
we always
That's what
talk
she
about
said.
it. It's scary.
He's scary.
And you're right. He's so angry. He has so much anger built up in himself. It's like, I don't even know where to begin with him. She cannot have one conversation, and she ends it, and she's just like, it's just constant talking crap. Back and forth. We cannot have one normal conversation. And then to the cameras, he's like, we can't even have a conversation about the girls. I'm just trying to talk about the girls. Like, no, you're not.
No, he's putting her down in a
Yep.
loud voice. He's just rude. I don't.
Always, always, always. But that was really scary. Not much on Bristol today, though, other than that, which is a big deal. But we didn't even really get much into it, right?
No,
No.
not at all.
Cheyenne had not too much either in her segment today.
No.
So Zach and her have dinner. What did you guys think about that whole dinner?
Awkward.
I didn't think it was
A little
awkward.
awkward. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
She
know.
They just don't
I
have.
take
They
him
just don't have
back.
chemistry.
I think it was like she acted how. Not that she was right, but she acted exactly how I would act.
What, like straight faced and like.
Yeah, like
What's up?
she had something to do with it, which she admitted. You know, did you do this? Was it partly because of this? Was it the alcohol? Was it because I didn't invite you to the bridge party and I pushed you to go dinner with your dad? Like, what was it? You know, she admitted that. But she was, you know, he comes in, he's like, how are you, Shy? And she's like, do we need forks? Like, pretty much like, you know you did something wrong. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
was
didn't
so
think it was-
sweet, though.
I thought the opposite. He kept turning it back towards me. Well, I know I did it wrong, but I know I feel bad about it. And I'm like, oh, you're phony.
Really? I would love that. I would be like, I feel like anytime I would get in a fight, I would be like, admit you're wrong, explain to me why you're wrong, and tell me you're not going to do it again.
Right.
That's what I like, but
Done.
I'm
But-
just not a big fan of them. Because I love Cheyenne and Corey's chemistry. They have more of just a connection and just a
Yeah.
thing going.
But they show him more too. All you
Yeah.
ever see Zach is like.
it's
just
like barely anything.
sitting.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Maybe we will.
I don't really, Corey and Cheyenne, I just feel like the second that it happens, it's going to fall apart sooner than it
It might.
It might.
started. But, yeah, so they have this conversation, and then she goes to Corey, and then they go on this thing to her dad's together. It's like, there's no point in you even being with anybody else because you do all these things with,
Right. She was just with Zach. Why didn't she go with him? It's that whole thing, inviting Corey everywhere.
well, I guess starting back up with Zach. And she didn't want to do that? I don't know.
Okay, because he hadn't known yet, the dad.
What did you guys think of Corey's reaction to them getting back together? Kind of.
I don't know. I have a hard time following that storyline. Maybe
Yeah.
because she's so
I
new and I
knew.
don't know anything about her. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I knew her. I knew. I liked how he reacted. I liked the things that he said to the dad as far as we can't have people coming in and out. like this, you know, if you're going to break up, if you're going to stay. I really hope she doesn't have him move back in with her.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
When he
I
said
never
that, I'm
liked
like,
that.
that's right. That's
I never
right.
liked that.
Yeah, you know, and he said, like, if I meet a girl, before I have her meet the baby, I'm going to be with her. It's going to be serious. Like, that's great. I like how he's thinking.
I always liked how he handled things. I don't know. He's just a smooth talker and just, I don't know. He just
He's a good
handles himself
dad.
better. Yeah, he's a good dad.
He's a very good dad.
I like how he talks. I just wonder if he can walk the walk when like a girl comes into his life and
We'll say.
you know, or if it ends up being Cheyenne or whatever. But because even at that point, I wouldn't say that they should live together right away, even though they have a baby
No,
together.
because they could break up too, and it'll be the
Exactly.
same thing for the baby.
But that was really nice.
I would rather them try, like, Cheyenne and Corey to be together while the baby's younger rather than older to see if they can actually figure out if they can work, instead of getting together when Ryder's like 6 and then they break up and mommy and daddy tried, didn't work out. Try now in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
You know, like, start going on dates, start like getting to know each other, be like as like a couple instead of just parents of their child, and get to know each other and figure it out before she grows up, and it gets way more confusing and more than they can handle.
I agree.
How long did they date when she got pregnant?
I think it was a one night stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
On a
thought.
reality
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
another one.
So why don't they date?
I think they
I think
should.
they should date.
They never,
Because I think that
They're both
Corey is
scared.
the kind of guy that doesn't want rejection. So he just kind of hangs out. First he was like, he doesn't want a girlfriend, or right? He was acting all
He's not
like
ready.
that.
Like,
He's not
type
ready.
Of thing, yeah.
To settle down.
Yeah. But, you can clearly see that he likes her, loves her, cares
Yeah.
about her. So I think it'll happen at some point, but...
When he's ready for that family life.
Right.
And they can
Right.
take it slow too. It's not like he has to jump into dad mode and wake up in the morning and like change the baby in the same house. They can still like live separate, but at least just like put their toes in the water a little bit and just
Tell
try.
him.
Yeah.
Call him up.
Just
Tell him.
try.
Yeah, but
Like,
she
just
must
go.
not be ready at this point because she just got back with Zach.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't.
I'm
thought
over it
like... Yeah, I thought maybe she was... her and Corey were going to start kind of... I don't know.
I don't know. I don't mind Zach. I still just
No,
don't
I
mind
don't
him.
either.
He's cute and nice. It's
No,
just,
I don't mind him.
I'm
just,
just
like,
not on board with the Corey thing. I just...
you're not
No.
not feeling it yet.
So a little bit more
So
time.
do you want
We'll
him to
see.
grow up a little bit more?
Yeah, I think they
before-
both need to, like, grow up. So
Then
I think
I-
they're doing it at a good pace.
I think
Yeah.
she should grow up as well without Zach. Me personally, like, I think she should,
Yeah, well, she could, definitely.
yeah. I just think they both need to be not in a relationship, figure themselves out, and then get together.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Amber had a pretty crazy story, but it was mostly Christina on tonight's episode. So I thought they were in LA for Andrew's work, but it ended up being she was visiting Andrew's family for the month.
I thought it was work too.
So now that everybody's saying that, what
Could it be both?
No, because she had made it such a big deal before she even had the baby that they were going and he was going to be working there and Leah was flying out. And I'm pretty sure the last time we heard Leah was flying out because we're still here for Andrew's work, right? Why did we
Yeah.
all think that? Same
I
thing
did
then.
too, yeah.
They set us up with that. Because I'm like going, oh, he's going back to marriage boot camp. Yeah. I wonder if he hook up with somebody else while he's there.
Do you not like Andrew?
No.
Really?
Oh, see, I don't really know him.
I don't.
Well, you have to be fans of marriage boot camp. But
Oh.
she's there working on a relationship with Matt and her mom and hooks up with the cameraman.
Did they hook up then, though?
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
While
how is
she
that
was
on
with
him? Well, how is that on him and not her?
Her too.
Well,
but
her too,
she
but
has
it
a
just
history
shows
of bad decisions.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, true.
he's a lot better than Matt.
Oh,
so-
absolutely. I mean, I think he's in it for the right reasons, but he got deep into a relationship because she got pregnant.
Yeah. True. Well, they come back and they go to Gary's house, and Christina and one of the cameramen have this whole discussion about how she had stomach pains and chest pains, and she ends up finding out that she had
a topic.
ectopic pregnancy, tubal pregnancy, what they call it too, which is so sad. And she heard the heartbeat, and when Christina explains it to Amber, well, actually, Gary brings it up. He's like, yes, I'm getting we're done having kids. And she's like, okay.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get even though she has her tubes tied, I'm going to get a vasectomy. And she's like, well, okay, why? Like,
That was awkward. That was like, no, Gary, no.
no. And then Christina's talking about it, and the way Amber handled it, I was like, wow, she's so good. I'm bad with stuff like that, listening to people. I feel like
Like emotional stuff?
I feel like I'm not good with responding, and I don't respond how somebody would want to hear. Yeah. I don't know. But she did so well. She was just like, I am so sorry you had to go through that. That's awful. And it didn't sound
fake. It's not real.
Sincere,
Yeah.
Well, then we found out she had one. All 4 girls have had a miscarriage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Something in the water.
Maybe it's the TV.
Macy, Caitlyn, Amber, and Christina.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
I'm like going, whoa.
Who else is there on the show? I wonder if Bristol has had any. She keeps popping out these kids. Yeah. Okay.
I was just listening to Christina and I was just getting so sad. I was just like, oh my, to go through that, I was like, almost had like tears. I was just like, oh my God.
It's supposed to be very painful, and the recovery is very painful.
And just hearing the heartbeat and not knowing it's there, and then you can't,
knowing there's nothing you can do.
Knowing you can't do anything.
And then she said to the doctor, just get it over with.
Yeah.
I was like,
because she wants it out of her.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, there's 2 weird things about this whole part though, to me. One is the fact that when Christina was explaining to the camera guy, she said, it really hit Gary really hard. It was really hard for him. And then Gary and Christina have this conversation. He's like, I know you're really upset. I know it hurts you a lot more than it hurts me, which is understandable. And it's like, it was funny because it clearly didn't seem like he didn't really, not that he doesn't care, but he cares more about that she's hurt than like the actual thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up on that? Okay.
Because she probably is like, he probably told her how he was feeling, so that's what she got out of it, but that's not really how he's feeling. But I understand, she went through it.
Yeah, definitely. And then another thing that I thought was so weird was that Christina said, Gary's like, I'm going to get the vasectomy. It's totally fine. Like, I just don't want this to happen again. She's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, definitely. And she's like, well, I know you wanted a boy. Why would she have her tubes tied?
Did she have her 2 times before she met Gary?
That's what I was wondering. And then they just had Emily on mistake, but then they didn't do anything.
True. That's right, yeah.
She must have had it after the baby.
After Emily.
But what? Why would she say, I know you've always wanted a boy?
I don't
And then,
know.
like, he had just said, now we're done having kids. Like, when were they not done having kids, but she had her tubes tied?
Right.
You can't undo that.
No. That's so weird. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either. No explanation.
No explanation from the panel. But we do find out that Amber's miscarriage was in a previous season with Matt. Which explains that night.
Yes.
I remember being
That was in Vegas, and he was a drunk jerk.
Yes.
And they were freaking out all night long.
And I remember the cameras got there, and his hand was busted, and he's like, nothing happened. And they're like, are you sure nothing happened, Matt? What happened? They're like, Amber, like, did he, pretty much, like, I'm sure they were like, did he hit you? Like, did he try and attack? Like, what is going on? Were you guys drunk? High? What were you? And he's just like, no, nothing happened. No, nothing happened. I'm good. Just knocked it. Like,
I remember that episode going, something's way wrong.
Yeah.
Did he punch her? What happened?
Or he punched the wall,
and she
punched
was
some glass.
so
Who knows?
quiet about it.
Wow.
Because she usually gets in a rage. She'll freak out, but she wasn't at all.
So that was really interesting.
I wonder why she didn't say it.
She was
life's
upset.
on there.
Was her face messed up when it happened? Like, did we see
No.
it?
No. He got mad and punched a wall because,
he punched the wall.
She had a
Okay.
miscarriage. Yeah.
He didn't punch her.
I thought they were fighting about something in Vegas.
No.
I didn't know it was
No.
that.
But you knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
They were hiding something.
No,
You're
totally.
like going, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or he was really on, I don't know what drug he was on.
It was so sketchy.
It was.
But, I mean, that really wraps it up as far as each girl's individual. It was kind of like a slow episode, like you were saying, but it was really sad. There was a lot of deep stuff.
And then wasn't Amber talking about how she was depressed? Like, she has this new baby in this life, but then she was talking about, but I'm depressed. She was talking about it with, who was she talking
So
about?
that was
this
last episode.
Last
She
episode?
talked with her cousin,
okay.
and they previewed it, so we'll probably get more into that in the following episodes, I would predict.
But she seems to be doing good for now, which is what I like. Like, I'm happy to see her make an effort. But what's another thing I noticed with her is there's a big disconnect with her and Leah. I don't know why. I'm feeling like
Me too.
Leah wants nothing to do with her. I feel like, because
Might be
Leah's
the
probably like,
age.
where'd you go, Mom? Like, what'd you do? Like, why were you doing this? Like, she must know that her mom had problems.
Yeah.
And I think Leah might be holding it against her, because Amber was talking about something about Leah in that episode, that things weren't going well with their relationship or something.
Well,
Something little. Like, I noticed it. I was like, ooh.
Leah's picking to be with her friends instead of visit Mom. But Mom is so inconsistent. She didn't see her all summer.
Yeah.
She has this new baby, new boyfriend. And
Leah probably also feels left out, is what I would think.
And that's been a history for poor Leah.
Because Gary wasn't good either growing up. She had two pretty inconsistent parents, and then he kind of grew up as well, and then she went through it. So she's kind of had like a rocky life, and I think she's disconnecting from her mom, which...
I wonder if she watches this show.
Just being on it is enough for them to have some problems. Like, the kids, I personally don't think it's the healthiest environment, and I wouldn't want to be on a show like that with my kids, because it's just a little too much, and like, their lives are documented, and when they're older, YouTube's gonna exist for the rest of our lives. Like, they're gonna see it at some point.
Well, you wonder if she's like, you know, she has a phone. She has friends with
Yeah,
phones.
magazines at the grocery store with her
catching
mom's
clips with her
mugshot.
mother.
Yeah, and the mugshots all over magazines. Like, you can see it checking out eggs at the aisle, like, at the supermarket. Like, you see everything. Kids see everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot.
Especially when Ryan's mugshot is on the
Everywhere.
front
Yeah, everywhere.
at the grocery
It's
store.
just like there's no hiding it. And I just feel terrible for, like, all the kids, to be honest.
Right.
Ugh, I know. All right, well, let's get into our special segment, why don't we? We'll do Teen Mom, oh no, and oh yes moments. You just do an oh no moment and an oh yes moment. So I'll start it off then. Okay, so my oh no moment was definitely the conversation between Mackenzie and Jen and Larry when they were just sugarcoating this whole Ryan thing and making it seem okay, and just making it seem okay to themselves too, I think. Like, yeah, so that was insane. My oh yes moment was when Jade gets home from school and she has coloring all over her hands, and Bentley's like, oh no, we're gonna have to cut off your hands. No, you have to cut off my shoes. What? I thought that was so cute. She's too cute. What about you?
I'm going to be lame and follow your oh no about that whole situation, because I feel like they're just making themselves feel better because they know they should have been more proactive, and they're just trying to be like, oh, we're doing what we can, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it might not be enough, but we'll see. And then my oh yes was everything with Bentley and like Macy and Taylor, like when Bentley's little brother jumped on the bed saying, wake up, wake up.
That was
so cute.
It's nice because Bentley's just their brother. Like, he's not their half brother. He's not anything but just their brother, which I love that they blended the family so well, and no child feels different. Like, when Bentley comes home, he's a part of their family. And Taylor makes a good point by saying that as well, and like the way he feels about him.
Yeah, definitely.
He's very loved, which I can tell.
My oh no was when they let Nova in the tub and she just bullied her
Screaming.
dad into leaving and have mommy
Yeah.
come in. I'm like, oh no, don't let her bully
I feel like Nova was a bit of a brat
Yeah.
during that. A lot of times,
And
all
they
I
gave
hear,
in.
she's just screaming all the time. It's like, Nova screams all the time.
Yeah, she did.
All the time.
Yeah. And my oh yes was when Bentley said, what am I going to do with my time?
I know.
Like,
That was so cute.
I don't know what I'll do.
I'll say that my oh no was with Caitlyn and Tyler. Just them not being able to see the baby and everything they went through this episode. So I didn't really have an oh yes. So I have a lot of oh no's. But anyway.
say another one if you want.
Just the talk between Dakota and Bristol. Ugh.
That was awful.
Yeah. So I'm going to do two oh
Okay,
no's.
that's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many oh no's in this
Yeah.
show.
Ooh, but another oh yes, how Tyler always brings up therapy and how he wants to try with the relationship so hard. He's like, my therapist said this, and he's utilizing the tools. And I feel like a lot of like family type like stereotypes is the dad never wants to do the therapy.
Yes.
And it's always the mom, like, we're going to therapy, and, like, she's nagging,
Yeah.
but the roles are reversed, and he's, like, wants
Really
to fix it, and he
trying.
really
Because
listens.
it's who he is,
He's just such a
yes.
great, like, he listens to the therapist. He comes home and he uses these tools. He's
Right.
like, Caitlyn, look. Like, he's excited. He wants to, like, make life better.
It
Definitely.
really does.
I want him to be a therapist.
Me too.
Just listen,
I do.
Because he's gone through so
great.
much. He's
Yeah.
learned so much. And
Who knows? Maybe he will. We don't really know what they do besides
they
the
renovate
show.
houses.
Oh, okay.
Are
Is that what
still
they
doing
do?
their
I know they
clothing
did.
Line?
Yeah.
Are do they have the clothing line still?
Oh, it's the worst clothing line. The clothes are not cute. They have a kids clothing line, and it's just not cute.
Oh, what's it called?
Tiara Rain. It's just, I don't know. Like, Taylor has a clothing line that has kids clothing too, and it's really cute. It's TTM, Things That Matter, and that's his
Oh,
initials.
that's cute.
Yeah.
But that's really cute. But anyway, so I have some news and gossip, mostly about Halloween.
Okay.
So, Macy and her family, I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram, but they were the whole Scooby-Doo clan.
Oh,
It was
cute.
so cute.
I
Jade
saw
was
it.
the little girl with the glasses. What's her name?
Thelma.
Yes.
Thelma, yeah.
Oh my God, she was hilarious
Yes,
in
she's
there.
adorable.
And the best was Cindy Lou Who, who she looks like anyway.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, I did
exactly
see
like
that.
her.
She so looks like her. It's so funny.
It's crazy how much she looks exactly like her parents. Like, Nova is exactly like Tyler and Caitlyn. Like,
Yeah.
you just know it's their kid.
Yes.
She does.
Carbon copies of both of them.
I know, it's crazy. I can never figure out who she looks like
Yeah.
because
Just both right down the
both.
middle.
yeah.
Every minute it's okay, Tyler. No, Caitlyn. How-
Yeah.
And they're having a girl.
Oh,
We know that. We've talked about that. So, and if I do remember correctly, they said it's going to start with an H, the name, but they're not. Yes, I'm pretty sure. It's going to start with an H, but they haven't told the name yet. So,
But so they know it, but
but they're not going to tell it.
so they're just telling us the first letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see. But anyway, we'll talk about On the Next. Did you get to watch On the Next?
No.
No. Did you get to watch On the Next episode? Did you?
No.
No,
She likes that.
I like
she likes it.
not talking about it. All right, so Macy expresses a bunch of concerns about meeting Bristol and Cheyenne because they're gonna do some kind of photo shoot or something together. And then Cheyenne says, "I'm really nervous." In the car with Corey, "I'm really nervous to meet the girls. I don't want there to be any like mama drama." And at one point, Amber says, "You better not start drama." But I don't think it's gonna be bad because I've seen them recently. Like they're all good. Farrah there was always so much drama, throwing stuff, hitting each other, like crazy stuff happens. But
Whatever happened to that other girl, Leah?
that's
The
Team
other
Mom too.
That's Team Mom too? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So Macy finds out Ryan's back in rehab, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have. There wasn't too much.
No. Okay.
But we're gonna see more like the girls come together, which is always a cool and different kind of setting.
yeah, maybe Bristol can get some friends.
I know.
And not be so isolated and
But they're
alone.
gonna be all scattered all over the state of the United States again. So
Does Bristol? I wonder if Bristol has security on her house, like being a public
yeah.
figure as her mom. Like she definitely probably
After
has.
that episode?
After that episode, she probably
Yeah.
beefed it up.
oh yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I think we did a pretty good job wrapping that all up, other than my stumbling words tonight for whatever reason. But we did a really good job. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you guys for
you.
watching. Please subscribe and like our channel on AfterBuzz. Like, comment. We love to read the comments. I promise I'll read them. So where can we find you, Mom?
So Lee Fane at
On.
Instagram.
Okay. And where can we find you?
Nowhere.
Where can Bristol Stalker find you? You cannot find her. Where can we find you, Karina?
You can find me on Instagram at Karina.Ardaji and Facebook.
And you can find me on Instagram at Mackenzie Fane. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you here next week, Tuesday, for another episode.
Thank you.